everyone, it's Sharana from Pay Or Waits, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Chi Season 4, Episode 7, Black Messiah. You guys, I am on a journey to be a bad bitch, and I cannot do the live streams anymore at 10:30 at night because I got to be in bed by 10 because I got to wake up and I got to go work out. I got to burn my 2 pounds of my sleep. I hope that y'all can just bear with me, but I'm going to make sure that I post these videos early in the morning for you guys. It's like, you know, forgive me, but I'm still giving you what you needed in the first place. So just bear with me. But also, too, last announcement. You know, I'm very big on talking about protecting my peace. And then the devil decided to try to take my peace and steal my joy this morning when I woke up with this zit on my lip. It hurts. Literally, to eat, to talk, to drink. It just hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Something so little can cause so much pain. I don't know why, but I got to put this little patch. I got me a little zit patch. It's supposed to clear it up in 8 hours. So before y'all come in my comment section like, Sharana, what is on your lip? Is a zit, okay? You've been there. You know how it feels. It doesn't feel too good. So let's get into this week's episode, which I would have to say, even though I still have a minor few issues with this week's episode, it's one of the stronger episodes, just actually displaying Black life and dispelling a lot of myths about what Black people do. I know you're like, Sharana, what are you talking about? Let me explain it to you guys. But first, I do want to talk about, we're going to start with Keisha. So at the end of the previous episode, 2 weeks ago, we saw that Keisha said that she wanted to keep her baby. Now, I didn't know that they were going to accelerate it as quickly as they did. I thought this would be a whole storyline, but I guess not. But what I will have to say is, even though it might have come off that Nina was being very harsh in the line of questioning that she did have for Keisha, I think it was something that was needed. I think that Nina, even though she's going through her own dark time and she's kind of like taking it out on everyone else in this week's episode, I think that it was fair to make sure that Nina, as a mother, made sure that her daughter thought about all of these, you know, potential concerns or issues that might arise for her deciding to take care of her child. And especially that question when she asked her, like, what happens when he starts to look like his dad? That stunk. I was like, whoa, Nina, wait a minute. But then I was like, no, that's a very valid question. And I really hope that they delve more in this with Keisha's storyline, especially about women who who make the choice to raise, you know, their children that was conceived out of trauma, out of rape. You know, I really hope that that's something that they delve a little bit deeper into throughout the course of this season, even going into, you know, upcoming season, because we're just going to manifest that for them. But I do want to say, y'all ain't named this baby yet. I mean, I know we got the name at the end of the episode, but I was like, how long do it take to name this baby? Like, Octavia ain't named a baby. Keisha don't have a name for the baby. I was just like, come on, y'all. Like, I already know what my son's name is going to be. So I was just like, please give this baby a name. But they did give the baby a name at the end of the episode, which I thought was really cute. You know, especially when she has that conversation with Jada and how Jada came up with the name Emmett, and how when, you know, you name your child after someone is like your way of helping that other person's legacy continue. So I like the full circle moment of Ronnie being the one who actually saved her, you know, out of her trauma. That being a way to honor Ronnie and his legacy, but to, you know, honor his character, who we, you know, that's one of the first people we were introduced to on The Chi. So I thought that was a really cute full circle moment at the end as she has to dream about Ronnie saving her and deciding to name the baby Ronnie. I thought that was super dope. Now, one of the things that I didn't necessarily understand about the storyline is why not show us that conversation that Octavia and Keisha had. It was kind of done in like, you know, yeah, Octavia said she understands my choice and it is what it is. And it's like, but wait a minute, like, that's a conversation that like we probably should have saw. Like, I think that is very important, especially showing these stories about what adoptive mothers go through, but also too, what does that birth mother go through? I think that I felt like to just really bring that storyline full circle to show like how that affects Octavia, you know, someone who's wanted a child for so long, someone, you know, who advocated for Keisha's, you know, health while she was pregnant with the baby. You know, I just felt like that should have been something that we delved a little bit deeper into. I don't know if it was scheduling issues. I know there's a lot of behind the scenes things that happen that doesn't allow them to get the story out the way that they want to, but that is something that I would have loved to have seen. I really enjoyed the relationship between Tiff and Keisha. To see how far they come, fighting over Emmett, and then seeing Tiff be so supportive of Keisha. Like, even when she first came home, when she was going through her pregnancy, Tiff is just that friend that really, helps Keisha feel okay with the decisions that she's making. It's the support that she necessarily doesn't always get from her mother. So I really love their relationship. I love that her and Emmett brought over stuff to, give to her so she could have stuff for the baby Ronnie. So I really like where they're going with that. Now, I do want to talk about Jada. So I want them to do more with Jada, just because I want them to, talk more about breast cancer with Black women, like how that affects Black women in the community is something that my grandmother went through, breast cancer, my brother died from cancer. Like, I just want them to talk about the effects of cancer within the Black community, but especially with breast cancer, with Black women, to really talk a little bit more about that, because I do think it's a topic that we don't really talk about within our community as much. And it's weird because it's weird to see Jada going through this moment where she feels like, oh, woe is me, I'm tired of being strong for everybody, just because I do get that, though, because the people in my life who have had cancer, they do come off very strong, and it's weird to see them in vulnerable moments because you're fighting this disease, but you don't want everyone to you want people to treat you how they used to treat you. You don't want people to treat you like you're someone who could potentially be dying. But I always saw Jada as someone, if she had cancer, I would see her trying to educate more people in the community. I would see her going to support groups with other women who are dealing with breast cancer. Like, I felt like that's where I thought that they were going to take her storyline, especially since she is a nurse. But they haven't, and it's kind of like, oh, let me cut my hair off. And I was just like, I get it, but Jada's just such a strong person, and she's been such a force in other people's lives that I just envision this storyline going different for her character. But she has a conversation with Nina in the episode where, she's like, hey, thank you for sharing Dre with me. I know if it was me, I would have thought that something was going on. And then Nina pauses, and she was like, what's wrong? And then she basically tells her that she cheated on Dre. And so, because she thought that they had something going on, which is just weird to me, because I was like, so Jada, if you knew that if the shoe was on the other foot, that you would feel that way, that's selfish. So why would you put your friend in that predicament? Why would you put Dre's marriage in that predicament, knowing that if you were Nina, you would feel exactly how Nina was feeling? That didn't sit right in my spirit. And then she made like a joke. I was just like, Jada, that's not funny, baby. That's not funny. I know you're going through it, but if that's how you knew you would have perceived it, you would have never put your friend in that predicament in the first place then. But to each his own, it is what it is. But what was funny was, I thought it was really funny when Emmett saw Nina and he just took one look at her and was like, oh, you cheated. Like, oh. When I say he read her entire heart, what was happening on the inside so much that it made her uncomfortable, I was like, Emmett, you didn't cheat it that much that you could just look at somebody else. You have the intuition to look at someone else and just know that they're cheating like that. That cracked me up. That entire conversation between the two of them absolutely cracked me up. Just, Emmett, I see you growing, and I'm happy you told Nina to tell Dre, but I was just like, you are absolutely too much. So we see that Nina has a weird interaction with Kevin. I know she's frustrated with Kevin, and I know she's going through something, but she came at Kevin the wrong way, and I'm happy that Dre was there to kind of diffuse the situation and remind her, like, we made an agreement on how we're going to handle parenting Kevin going forward. Because I was like, dang, Nina, like, you doing all of this because you cheated? Let that boy be depressed. Try to help him. What is the problem? I don't understand. But is Kevin out of school? Can someone explain that for me? Like, I know he got kicked out of the other school, but is he not going back to the school that Papa and Maisha go to? What is happening? Can I get some answers to these questions? Because I'm just saying. Now, when Nina does tell Dre reacted way different than I thought she would. She was like, she was devastated. And I know what y'all saying, like, I mean, her wife just cheated on her. But I was just like, Dre act like somebody died. Okay, that's how I would expect Dre to act like if they said Jada passed away. I was just like, ooh, Ooh, I don't know if y'all gonna come back from this one, baby. I don't know. I'm gonna pray for you. I'm gonna hope that what Jada said, that Dre is gonna work hard for anything. I mean, I hope that that works for you guys, but it'd be interesting to see how all of that unpacks itself next week, or if we're gonna get into that next week or the week after next. But let's talk about Kevin. So Kevin is depressed. He's been kicked out of school. He lost his girl. He lost his other best friend. Just whoa, it's Kevin right now. So Kevin leaves the house. He decides he's going to try to go get a game. And this is one of the storylines that I really enjoyed this week for a couple of reasons. First, black people play video games. There are black gamers, okay? I need to say that again for people in the back. There are black gamers. Good black gamers. There are women who were gamers that are black. I don't know who needed to hear that. I don't know who needed that word put on their heart today, but I was happy that the Shy showed them in this week's episode. So he runs into Cherry and Jamal's daughter at the video game store, and basically she takes him to this bomb-looking gamers lounge because y'all frying up food and y'all got games and stuff. I was like, let me know where it's at. So basically Kevin ends up beating her. She was not happy about that. She was very upset. I felt that in my spirit for her. He held no mercy. I was just like, wow, Kevin, like, way to impress her. But I guess you're going to make everybody work hard for something. When she asked him, like, when she was like, so you just going to a stranger's house, like your parents don't care about this, you ain't got to check in. And he was like, oh, my parents let me move how I want to. And she's like, do you have white parents? And I was like, exactly, because that's not normal. Like, I need you to understand the freedom that you have, because that's not normal in a black household that your mothers are willing to do that for you. But another thing that I really loved about the whole interaction between Kevin and her was when Kevin basically says, like, hey, I would love to take you on a date. And she basically says, like, hey, like, first of all, you just met me first, so chill. Second, I don't see you in that way, but we can definitely still hang out. She was like, I love playing video games with you. We can definitely still do that. Now, the reason that I really love that they have this in this episode is that I need young kids and even adults to just understand that meeting someone from the opposite sex, it does not mean that that has to be a love interest for you. You can be friends with people of the opposite sex and just enjoy their time. It doesn't have to turn into, I want to sleep with this person. Oh, she play video games. She do this and that. Oh, she got to be my girl. No, you can just have friends who are hella cool people to hang out with that are a part of the opposite sex. That does not have to be any physical connection in that way. Hey, that's just my homeboy. That's my homegirl. We have a really great time together, but I just don't see them in a romantic way. And that's okay. Now, for her, I don't know if I necessarily would have been continued to be playing games with Kevin, just because now that he's expressed romantic, interest, I don't know if Kevin's going to be able to let that go or whatnot. So I don't know. It just always feels weird, because then it's just like, well, we met, you trying to get at me, and then you just going to be waiting for me to be like, oh, maybe if I hang out with her, she'll see me in a different way. I don't know, but I was happy that they showed that, and I was happy that she, had wisdom to be like, I don't need you to walk me home because your parents might be cool with this. I don't know you like that. This is literally the first time we've actually hung out. I only met you once before that. I'm good. I was really happy with the decisions that she made in this episode. But I do want Kevin, like, you can get a scholarship, a sponsorship for playing video games. Like, somebody help him and realize that you can make a whole living out of this, Kevin. I am rooting for you. I truly am rooting for you. But did you peep how Kevin was asking her these deep ass questions that Gemma typically asks Kevin? So it was annoying when Gemma used to ask you these questions, but you're literally doing the exact same thing with your new friend. I thought that was a little bit weird. Even she was like, dang, you asked me all these deep questions. Like, what is going on? I just thought that was interesting. I don't know if you guys picked up on that. I definitely picked up on that, but I was like, it is what it is. But since we're talking about the kids, let me go ahead and talk about Papa, who's still going through a really tough time, y'all. Papa's going through a tough time because Maisha said that she needed space. She wanted to break up. And he's not doing too well with it. But, I feel like Papa gonna come back on top. Now, Papa actually helping Jake out. And one of the things that I was appreciative that Papa finally did was tell Jake he was wrong. Like, Jake, you're wrong. Like, you did all of this for a girl who you don't even know if, like, she like you like that. Because when Gemma was like, I want something different, it didn't feel like she was like into Jake like that. It was just Jake was giving her as like the 80-20 rule. Jake was giving her the 20% that she wasn't getting from Kevin. So I just want to make sure, like, is she into you as much as you're into her? But I did think it was cute that, he was teaching her about the, what is her love language? Like, women and men have love languages, and you need to understand every person isn't going to be the same. Like, some people like very flashy gifts. Like, I like very simple things. Bring me some flowers, okay? But one of the nicest things somebody I ever dated did for me, I was an extreme couponer. He brought me some coupons. I was like, this is the best thing that somebody has ever done for me in my life. Like, just random things. Like, you just have to understand the type of person that you're dating. And I was happy that Papa was able to help Jake out. Jake did have a point. Like, how you single and you sit up here giving me all this advice and your girl don't even want to be with you. But I was like, sometimes you just got to learn the hard way. But I thought it was really cute when Jake asked Trig for some money. And they started showing him how to two-step and, how he asked Gemma to go to spring fling. I thought it was really creative. It was super nice. I thought it was a really cute touch. Jake still ain't ish in my book, but I thought it was cute. I thought it was super cute. So I'm going to give Jake props to where props is due. But we got to talk about Trig, because a lot did happen with Trig in this episode. So, actually, you know what? Let me do Emmett and Tiff, because they actually happy, so it ain't that much to talk about with them. I do like that. I do love that Emmett is learning to push himself outside of his comfort zone and do things that Tiff wants to do, and to try to connect with Tiff on the things that she actually likes to do. And so Tiff is working a sex party. She asked him at the beginning of the episode, did he want to go? He was like, no. But he ends up going to the sex party with her. They're like trying to navigate through this whole open relationship, this open marriage. Couldn't be me, but if it works for you, you like it, I love it, baby, I support it. So they meet another couple who, is basically, they're throwing the sex party is their thing. I thought it was super cute but I was like, this bold. He was like, when the guy came up to her and was like, I want to know what you taste like. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, all right. That's a one-liner right there. All right. So they end up having a good time at the party, and, it seems like it's something they're up for. I died laughing when the girl whipped Emmett, but I'm excited to see what happens with them. I'm happy they're in a good space. I'm happy that they're actually communicating with each other. So, and, basically being able to be in a safe space and tell their partner what they want. Now, Trig and Doodah's relationship is very interesting because they seem to be getting along very well. And it's weird because at the end of the day, like, he still killed your brother Reggie. So it's weird to see them in the space. But I kind of like the conversations that they have, especially when he calls him out on, Tracy, and basically tell him, like, you acting like, you know what, get your life together. But Doodah did have a point where he was like, they love the gangster when the gangster doing everything for them. Until they don't. So I thought that was fair because Tracy was doing a bit much in the previous episode when she was like, did you do all of this to sleep with me? And I was just like, child, Tracy, it's too much. So basically they meet up. Doodah tells Nook to clear the house. They're getting rid of, the sex trafficking thing that they have been doing in the house this entire time. I'm sure this is not going to be the last that we hear back from Nook. I'm sure he's going to try to kill Trig or Doodah. I don't know what the heck is going to happen, but he seemed very upset about all of this. But one of the things that I love about this storyline is I love that they bring up, now that you've freed these women, what are they going to do? How are they going to work? How are they going to eat? How are they going to make money? Like, where are they going to sleep? I like how people talk about, we're cleaning up the streets. We're getting the homeless people off the streets, or we're getting, fixing sex trafficking or fixing. It's like, but where are these people? Like, where do these people go once you rehabilitate? What does the rehabilitation look like? What is their life after you're rescuing them out of this situation? But what happens now? And I was happy that the women brought that up, and they basically make the decision that they're going to keep the house and let the women stay in the house. They're going to make sure they get food or things like that. So I was just, even when the woman made the comment about, so we go to a shelter and we still live in a life where people tell us when we can come in and leave and do all of this. I was really happy that they talked about that because I feel like that's a piece that we miss. Everyone was like, oh, this is so great. We save these people. Okay, but what happens to these women now? we never talk about that portion of the process. So I thought that it was very good that they brought all of that up. I love seeing, you know, the thing is working with them, trying to help out in the community, everyone having the signs. I was happy at first because I was like, look at Jamal and Cherry can like get their lives together. Anybody can get their lives together. But we see that quickly soon takes a turn for the worse as they get into it. You know, I was like, dang, Drake had just checked on y'all like earlier today. But they get into an argument. The brother comes, as he should have. And essentially, they get into a scuffle. They try to break them apart. Then they get into it again. And essentially, her brother pulls out a gun on Jamal. And then Trig gets involved and she defuses it, drops the gun. Then basically, Jamal picks the gun up and shoots her brother. So this is tough. But I love the conversation that he has with Doodah afterwards, because I like, this might be a little, people always feel as though Black people all have to be on the same page in order to make change. And if you really sit and think about it, no one has really gotten Black people like all on the same like accord ever. You know, I think in smaller groups you can. If you look at the Montgomery bus boycott, yeah, you had to get everybody like on board to not, you know, ride the bus in order to, you know, have change. But if you really think about any civil rights leaders that we've had, they've always had an opposition. They've always had Black opposition. And I like that Doodah presents this thing like, Trig, you don't have to get everybody on board. You can still make change, but change is not going to be something that is easy when you have literally lived in a system that was built against us and that people have been complicit in how they have been treated. Like, I think Trig act like this was supposed to be a kumbaya thing just going forward. You're going to have issues. There's still murder that happens even in the nicest of like communities. It's still robberies that may have like, I'm happy that Doodah had him reset his expectations, but I mean, he kind of said that, but he was kind of rude when he said it to him. But I think it was something that he needed to hear, because just be honest, we're not gonna all be on the same accord about things. So I think it's really important when we talk about things happening within the Black community that you have to make it work with the people that you have who are trying to help support your vision. So I really like that. And I think that's really it. I like this episode. We got to talk more about our community. We realized we got Black skateboarders, we got Black gamers, like the kids, you know, learning how to learn about their significant others and how people want to be loved, how people want to be treated. It was just a lot of good things happening in this episode. Like, these are the moments where I'm just like, this is like why we need Black television. This is why we need Black shows like The Chi, because you just get to see us exist like in our natural habitat, to see us exist outside of pain. Like, yeah, we saw that with Trig's storyline, but we got to see Black people in a sex party. Like, where do you get to see that at? You saw Black people having fun at a sex party, telling people how to properly consent. Like, yes to all of this. Yes to all of this that was happening in this episode. I know for some people it might be like, well, a lot didn't happen, but I just like those, like, this is a slow burn that I like. Okay, this is like a filler type of episode that I like, because it just gets to show Black people as human beings in the community, and that's what I love seeing on TV. So for me, I had a good time watching this episode, but I gotta stop talking because it's starting to hurt a little bit more, y'all, and I need to go get something to eat. But those are my thoughts on The Chi, Season 4, Episode 7, Black Messiah. As always, my name is Sharonda from Pay Your Weights, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and make sure you hit the notification bell. And I love you guys 3000, and until I see you again, bye.